Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another fabulous episode of
Spotlight.
Spotlight. Today, we're turning the spotlight on an extraordinary guest who embodies grace, intelligence, and a deep commitment to our environment. She's not just a beauty queen, she's a powerful voice for a change and sustainability.
As the Mutya ng Pilipinas Environment International 2024, she's been a beacon of hope and inspiration, championing causes that protect and preserve our natural world. Her reign is marked not only by her poise and charm, but also by her unwavering dedication to environmental advocacy.
So, prepare to be inspired as we delve into the world of beauty with a purpose. Let's give a warm spotlight. Welcome to the incredible Arianna
Arianna
Pantaleon.
Pantaleon.
Welcome to
Welcome to
Spotlight.
Hi everyone, hello po.
All right.
Yes.
So, how are you?
I'm good, I'm great. How are you?
I'm good as
Great.
well. Thank
Yes.
you.
Perfect, good to hear.
Okay, so of course, congratulations for being crowned, or
Thank
the
you
newly
so
crowned
much.
Mutan
Congratulations.
Filipinas
Yes.
Environment International 2024. So
Yes.
this is something to do with, I guess, environment,
Of
right?
course,
So
yeah.
since you were crowned in this title, so can you share with us how are you going to, use this platform in terms of environment?
Yes, of course. Well, as everyone knows, beauty queens are given a really big platform, especially here in the Philippines, the big
Yes.
fan base, and it's been absolutely amazing. And that's definitely how I think I can use this platform to help with environmental advocacies or sustainability, just by constantly posting and constantly keeping people updated, spreading awareness through my platform to show people that it's so important. The environment is so important. So I'm so thankful to be given the title because now I'm able to show everyone that, we can protect the world, and this is our only earth. So I think it's so very important that we speak about it now rather than later.
Yes,
Okay.
very well said. That we really have to talk about it. The time is now, not gonna
Absolutely.
be future.
Yeah,
but
of
what
course.
we're doing will be affecting our future
Yes.
planet as well. So, what are your main advocacies for your pageant, Mutya ng, as the Mutya ng Pilipinas?
Yes. So I am an advocate for many things. Of course, being a beauty queen, you need to be an advocate and use your voice for many things. But one of the main things that I use my voice for is I am an advocate against domestic violence. So I'd actually chosen to be an advocate against domestic violence because I saw one of my family members go through an abusive relationship when I was younger. So I really thought it'd be perfect for me to be able to use my voice and to help those people gain their confidence back from, of course, these traumatic experiences. And of course, being your Mutan Filipinas Environment International, I'm also an advocate against environmental sustainability and anything to do with our environment, especially now being representative of the Philippines and everything going on with the flooding. I think it's so important to raise awareness to that. So super
Okay,
thankful.
that's great to hear from you. So apart from being, an environment advocate, so may I know
Yes.
why did you choose the domestic violence?
Yes.
Coming
Why?
from the experience, so
Yeah.
what have you done so far to impart on that advocacy? When you saw, or is this a close family member or someone close to your heart that you saw this happen? And
Yeah, so it was a close family member to me, and it's very different to see somebody go through it from afar versus like seeing a close family member go through it. I feel like it just hits 10 times harder. And when I was watching that, or when I was seeing that person go through it, I was a little bit younger at the time, so I had a really hard time understanding what was going on or what it meant, and seeing that person really drift away from me really made me realize that, like I said, I want to be a voice for that. So what I've been doing in terms of being an advocate against domestic violence is using my platform on social media and trying to reach as much people as I possibly can. So posting things like information, resources, again, basically just raising awareness about the situation in general. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
About the situation in general.
Still very graceful.
So everything to do with that. And also when I was back in Canada, I would get in touch with a couple of organizations that sheltered women and children who were violence survivors. So during there, I would just be able to go through and see how they were raising donations for them, sheltering them, kind of being able to talk to the organization and being able to surround myself with people who are just as willing to raise awareness for this cause as much as I am.
And Arianna mentioned it back in Canada. So we
Yes.
would like to know how was your life back in Canada? Did you grow up there?
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Canada. I am a full-blooded Filipina. Both my parents were born here in the Philippines, but born and raised in Canada. And I recently just moved here to the Philippines because I wanted to be able to, you know, kind of explore and expand. I feel like I'm so young that there's so many opportunities that are available here that I definitely think that I can use to my advantage. So my life back in Canada was very, very great. I went to school there. I was just working. I have all of my family there in Canada. We basically live in like one neighborhood. We're all like less than 5 minutes away from each other. So it's been really amazing to be able to surround myself with my family constantly all the time. And I have a really big family, so I was basically living in under one household with all of them. So it's been really great to, I guess, kind of deal with so many different personalities at one time, because now it allows me to navigate in the real world and be able to deal with different people in different situations at the same time.
And how long have you been in the Philippines?
It's been almost a year now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you find the Philippines?
I love it. I love it so, so much. I think there's so many amazing opportunities here, and everyone has been so amazing to me and so welcoming, and it's been great. I hope to stay here for a very long time.
Yeah, it's an opportunity because you won as the Environment
Thank you
International.
so much.
Right.
So, I think the weather is a great change of pace from Canada to the Philippines. So, we have a series of tropical storms, typhoons recently. So, as an environmental advocate, what do you consider to be the most pressing environmental issue that we are facing today, not only in the Philippines, but actually in the whole world?
So,
And what you would want or can contribute using your platform?
So coming from Canada, like you said, the change in weather has
weather,
been
yes.
completely different. We have many seasons back in Canada. It's been very cold. I'm used to the cold weather, and coming down here, it's hot almost all the time. And like you said, we've been dealing with the typhoons recently and everything to do with the climate change. So I think it's been a really great experience, as sad as it is, of course, to bring awareness to everything that's happening with the Philippines. It's really great for me to be able to experience the typhoons here right now, especially having this title. And I think that one of the biggest issues right now for us here in the Philippines, I think it all lies within the education, and I will continue to stand for it. I think we need to continue to educate our younger generation in terms of, like I said in the beginning, that this is our only Earth, and that it's now that we have to do something about it rather than later, because if we don't do something about it now, then we won't have a later to talk about. So I think it lies all within the education, especially in schoolings. I think that children spend a lot of their times in the schools rather than in the house with their parents. So I think that the schooling and the educational systems need to be more, or we need to put more of like education in terms of sustainability, like the garbage, waste management, all that kind of stuff, and in terms of flooding too. So.
Are there any things that you've observed back in Canada that being practiced when it comes to disaster risk coordination that can be applied in the Philippines?
Yes, actually, that's a great question. I've talked about this recently with one of my trainers, actually. But she had asked me like what I see the difference in, and I think it's, for me, back in Canada, we are really, really big on our waste management system. So we have like recycle. You have to make sure always that you're putting your garbage into the correct bins, into the correct places, and that's what allows us to, I guess, have a proper system going on in terms of all that. And I think that that's not practiced properly here in the Philippines.
Very true.
And I think that's something that Canada, or maybe even I, can bring here to the Philippines to allow us to go by that system, so maybe things can run smoother in terms of the sewage here within the Philippines to stop like the less of the flooding.
Right. And then you were just recently crowned as, again, the Mutan Filipinas
Yes.
Environment International.
Environment.
So are there any upcoming projects or campaign that the organization is being
Put
Yeah.
What
Towards-
figure?
Or
Yes.
any projects, upcoming projects that you would want us to be updated with?
I think in general there's a lot that's going on, and I constantly need to be researching and updating to making sure that I'm always up to date in terms of the environment, especially here in the Philippines.
Yes, you need to follow
So,
Daily
of course,
Tribune.
Daily Tribune, of course, follow Daily Tribune.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think that nothing specific or a specific date right now, but I think it's just constantly making sure that every single day you're being updated and you're making sure that you're reading up on things to, if anything does ever come up, then you're ready for it and you know that, for
And-
anything.
Right. And is Mutan Filipinas allows you to choose what type of environmental cause that you would like
To focus
Oh,
on.
of course. Yeah,
focus on.
Mutan Filipinas organization has been so incredibly supportive of me and my whole entire journey. And they allow me to flourish and be the person that I am or the person that I want to be. So, of course, shout out to the Mutan Filipinas organization. But like I said, there's not one specific thing that I am eyeing on or that I'm just an advocate for, but it's just the environment in general, especially here in the Philippines. I would love to be in an environment of the world, of course, and that's why I am going international.
Yeah.
But I think right now, because I am representing the Philippines, more than ever, it's so important to be updated on causes here and environmental issues here in the Philippines.
Yes. So, as a beauty queen with an advocacy, how
Yes.
do you manage your day-to-day with all this responsibilities of being a Mutya ng Pilipinas as well as being the Mutya ng Pilipinas Environment International?
Yeah, well, at first, so this was my very first pageant. So
Congratulations.
thank you so much. I'm still trying to get used to, I guess, kind of differentiating my beauty queen life versus my personal life. And at first, it was really hard because when you are doing pageantry really bleeds into all aspects of your life, especially personal. And when I was competing in my pageant for Mutan Filipinas, I was like eat, breathe, and sleep pageantry. It was like that 24/7. And I thought that that's how it would be even after the pageant, and I would continue doing that. But it's really not. I really think that you have to find that perfect balance between the work-life balance, and I think that I'm able to do that, especially here in the Philippines. I've noticed that Filipinos have such a great way of finding that perfect work-life balance, and I think that's what I've got. That I think sometimes you need to take some time for yourself and take a breather and rest a little bit, especially because schedules with beauty queens can get very, very hectic. So I think that I'm still working on it, being able to separate the two, but so far it's been really, really amazing. And you just always have to make sure that you're going through every single situation properly, whether it's you're a beauty queen or you're in your personal life.
Okay.
So.
That's good. And Arianna, since you're talking about how to balance your time and your yourself as a beauty queen, so I want to know what's your typical day look like if you're not
day
if
in
you're
the
at
life.
home,
A
if you're
day
not
in the
really
life.
Arianna.
What do you normally do in the house?
So it's only been like 2 weeks
Right.
since I won this title. So I guess you could say that my day-to-day life back then versus now has been a little bit different.
Of
So
course.
ever since I won the title, the day-to-day for my life would just be, again, constantly researching, always messaging my team, making sure that we're up to date with everything and that we're okay for the international pageant. I've been doing a couple guestings, which has been an amazing experience for
Yes.
me. So it's allowed me to, use my voice and share my story. But if you were to ask me back then it would be preparation, training. So I'd have trainings during the day. So I would do workouts in the morning, and then question and answer training, passerella training, basically everything that had to do with the pageant. So just making sure that I'm bettering myself in all aspects of my life. So I think, my life has completely changed since I've won this title in a good way. So I'm so extremely thankful for that.
Okay. And then, did someone influence you to join beauty
join?
pageant?
To
Because this is your
be-
first time,
Oh,
and then
yeah,
you got a title
yes.
right away.
Yeah.
And it's Mutan Filipinas. It's
So I had joined pageants back in Canada, but they
Okay.
were very local pageants, so
Okay.
they were very small. So this was, I guess, would say my first main pageant. And I actually decided to join a pageant again, or Mutan ng Pilipinas, because of my 2 older sisters
Okay.
and my family. My family has been my backbone throughout my whole entire journey moving to the Philippines, and they've been my motivation since day one. And my two older sisters actually, or when they were around my age, they were competing in pageants as well too. And through that experience, or watching them go through pageantry, I saw them become such confident young women, and they were given the chance to be able to give back. So I told myself that I wanted to be able to do that as well. And I told myself that if I were to join another pageant, that I would pick a pageant that was perfect for me, or that was right for me, or that fit me and my personality and everything to do in all aspects of my life. And that's why I decided to join Mutan Filipinas. I think it was a perfect opportunity for me to use my voice, spread awareness, and to be able to gain that confidence and be able to give back as well too.
We really wanted to know more about Arianna. She's really well-spoken.
Thanks
and
so much.
we have more questions for
Yes,
you.
of course.
So we'll be right back after
Thank
a short
you.
break.
And this break is brought to you by Angkas, Beat the Traffic, Bayad Center, hashtag Bigger Better Younger Bayad, and you can buy it all. Meralco, ang liwanag ng bukas. SM, we've got it all for you. Smart, live more today. Union Bank, it starts with you.
Tune in to Daily Tribune's show aimed at addressing the needs and problems of our OFWs from different corners of the globe. Hear about their plights and success stories every Tuesday and Thursday, 3 p.m. only on Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now on YouTube.
Straight Talk dives deep into pressing issues of leadership, politics, business, and more. Engage in insightful conversations with industry shakers, government leaders, and trailblazers every Wednesday at 10 a.m. only here on Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now on YouTube.
And you're still watching, of course,
Spotlight
with
with
Arianna
Arianna.
with a crown.
Yes,
this
I'm
time.
back.
we just crowned her.
With my crown this time.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, France, for putting it. Okay, going back.
Going
Okay,
back.
Patricia, go.
We are very curious because you have been talking about you opening up in your platforms regarding your advocacy. So how do you use your influence and visibility to engage and inspire young people to get involved in environmental causes?
With social media right now, as we all know, people are glued to social media,
Right. Yeah.
especially the younger generation. And that's why I think that social media is so important, and we can use that as a tool to be able to encourage the younger generation about environmental causes. Like I said at the beginning, it's all about just constantly posting on social media and raising awareness for that. I think if you're constantly posting on social media and the younger generation sees that, they'll be more aware. And like I said, it's all within education. I think we need to constantly educate our younger generation about how important it is to learn about environmental causes right now more than ever.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so since you're talking about your advocacy, I want to ask,
Yeah.
because this is your first
Yes.
title,
Yes.
and then how was your experience during the pageant?
Oh my gosh, it was so amazing. It was honestly such a great experience for me. I was able to not only learn things about pageantry because I'm new, but things about myself as well too that I never even thought was possible. And I realized that within this journey, I am so capable of so much that, again, like I said, I didn't know that I was capable of. And I'm so very proud of myself for being able to go through that whole entire experience. And it's all a learning experience. It's constantly learning, growing, and yeah, it was amazing for me. And I think the Mutan Filipinas organization, my team, and all my Mutya sisters just made everything 10 times better for me. So
And what do you like most about the competition, and what do you miss most?
Yeah.
the competition, I would say the girls for sure.
Yeah,
The bond.
special
The bond,
bonding
yeah,
with
no, of course.
special.
For the longest time too, I was always looking forward to that sister bond that I've heard about in international pageants and pageants here in the nationals. So when I was finally able to experience it myself, I was so thankful to be so close with them, to be able to share, because we're all going through the same thing right now. And you might think that we're against each other because we're competing against each other, but it really wasn't like that at all. They were all so kind to me, so very helpful to me in every single aspect of the pageant. And I think it was more so being there for each other. We were locked in with each other for 2 weeks, and it was constant work and, little to no sleep.
Right.
So I think we were just always being there for each other. So I definitely think that's what I miss most.
Right.
Yeah.
So commonly, advocacy really comes from the heart or the
Yes.
hugot
Yes,
what
of
we call in in Filipino.
Yes.
So, can you share any personal experiences or moments that have deeply impacted you, aside from the domestic violence one, but for the environmental issues or causes? Have you experienced recently any that sparked that?
I think it all goes back to me moving from Canada to the Philippines and witnessing the typhoon for the first time. It's something very, very new to me. And when I was witnessing that, this was actually before I had won the title of environment. So I was sitting in my room, and I actually had a training session with one of my trainers, and the typhoon was going on, and we can see in social media that people are posting about the flooding. And to experience this definitely hit really hard, because it went to show me that I'm so thankful to come where I come from, and to be able to use my platform and to be a beauty queen, to use this platform as an awareness to show people that it's so important. So when I saw all these videos and these pictures about the flooding the very first time, it made me super sad. But then I also looked at it and I saw that Filipinos have such a big heart.
Yes.
And when I was watching these videos, I saw that people were making the sad situation turn it into happy.
Yes.
So people were
Yes.
playing in the water and all
Yes.
that kind of stuff. So I guess that it was at that moment I just realized how grateful I am to be Filipino, and to be living in the Philippines now, and to be able to represent the Philippines.
Yeah.
That's good. And you can only find that kind of scenario in the Philippines. And then
Yes, exactly.
earlier you enjoyed the pageantry in the Philippines, the sisterhood. You can only find that in the Philippines.
Exactly.
I mean, in the
I
Philippines
totally
setting.
agree.
Regardless if it's an international pageant owned by a foreign, and then
Yeah, of
it's
course.
gonna be staged here, it's gonna
Yes.
be that scenario in the Philippines.
Sisterhood.
So
Sisterhood
that's the good thing
always.
about here in the Philippines when it comes to
exactly.
pageantry and in times of
Resilience.
calamities.
Yeah. Of
That's
course.
Filipino. So
Yes.
that's you.
That's us.
Yes. Yes.
Right. So you said earlier that the good or social media is very important
The
in
role of
uh,
social media.
a
Very.
platform or like a
Of
voice
course.
for your advocacy. Apart from the environment and then the domestic violence, do you consider other advocacy maybe in the future that you might be interested with?
Of course, being a beauty queen, you are given a big platform. I
Yes,
think it
it's
should be
big.
used for the good. And I think also being within the pageants and Mutan Filipinas, the other girls had different advocacies as well too. And I think we can share that with each other. I think we can all be advocates for each other, and we can be an advocate for their platform and help them out. And again, we can just help each other out. That's all about the sisterhood and being able to support each other in whatever advocacies that we are bringing up here. So I definitely think that within the future, I'll be open to raising awareness to more platforms, or to more platforms and to more advocacies, of course. So
Right.
yeah, never closing a door, never closing that opportunity. Of course, I'm always willing.
All right. And before I forget, what's the first thing you did the following day after
After
you
got
won?
crowned.
After I got crowned, the first
Yeah.
thing
Did you
that
eat?
I did.
Did you have a cheat day right away, or I went?
I did actually. So the first thing that I did after I won this title was I used that time for my family.
Okay.
So I moved here to the Philippines by myself, and all of my family is still back in Canada. And my two parents, of course, my parents have flew to the Philippines here just to
Okay.
watch my coronation night.
Right.
So they have been, like I said, the backbone of my whole entire journey, and they have sacrificed so much for me. So I definitely felt like I owed it to them. So I spent that whole day with my family, with my parents, and yes, we did in fact eat out. We did have a little cheat day.
Cheat day.
Yes, yeah. So
Okay, that's good. And then, of course, I know that you will represent the country
Yes.
next year.
Next year.
in February.
February.
Okay, so can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I'm very, very excited. So I will be flying to India, and I will be representing, of course, the Philippines in the Miss Environment International 2024, 2025, one of those. So it's constantly just about preparing as well too. So I'm still up until now preparing, I guess, to make sure the momentum never stops. I'm really, really excited too. It's actually been such a great experience. I've only had this title for 2 weeks, and already the other candidates from Environmental International have reached out to me saying that they're so excited to meet me. So I'm so excited to meet them as well and create a whole nother sisterhood
Right.
outside of Mutan Filipinas. So I really think it's all about the hard work, the dedication, and your heart just has to really be into it. So I'm really looking forward to making sure that I give my heart to the Philippines.
Right, and sorry, I forgot. One thing that I missed during the competition, which I wasn't there, I explained it to you.
Yes.
And also, Franz, I love your costume.
Oh,
Yeah.
My God,
Thank you
that's so
so
beautiful.
much.
When I
Very,
first saw it, oh
very
my God.
pretty.
How heavy was that?
The
The costume.
the costume. Oh, it was very heavy, but I mean, it's okay. Beauty is pain. Beauty
That's what
is
you call
pain.
tiis ganda
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Tagalog.
Oh,
Tiis
really?
ganda. Regardless of in the face, tiis in ganda in the outfit. That's
Yes.
what we term it here. So tiis ganda.
Well, yeah, being a beauty queen, it's really long hours and the heavy costumes and the very, glitz and glamour of the dresses and all of that. But I definitely think it's worth it in the end. Like I said, beauty is pain. So,
Right.
Of course.
So we want to know your preparation. I mean, I know it's gonna be
For-
next year. So
Next
the
year.
designers, the glam team, or the your looks, are they planning it at this moment now?
Yes, of course. Right after I had won, my team is so amazing. Shout
my
out to my
God.
team. Thank you so much. Right after I won, we had already started talking about like outfits, like OOTDs, my glam team, starting to do like hair and makeup training, all that kind of stuff. So, like I said, I'm never not preparing. I always have to make sure the momentum is there, even though it is in February. Like I said, my team has been so amazing for me. So we're constantly just preparing and making sure that I am up to date in terms of Environment International.
Blame it to friends.
Just curious, as you have flown from Canada to the Philippines, what's the best meal that you have had so far, or the best Filipino food that
Here
you
in
have
the Philippines.
eaten? Yes.
I love the
Oh my God,
reaction.
that's so hard because I love Filipino food. So like any Filipino food. Actually, that is a good question. Very, very funny. Back in Canada, I was not a fan of sisig at all. I did not like sisig. When I came here to the Philippines, I don't know what happened. I had it one time.
And then
Now it is my favorite. My favorite
The
Filipino
pork.
dish.
You're a convert.
Yes, pork sisig.
okay,
So-
you should try. There's the fish, the
Yes.
bangus.
Oh, really?
There's a
There's
lot
the
of
squid.
variety.
A lot of
Chicken.
variety. Interesting. Well, it's something I have to try. But like I said,
Mom!
Sisig.
I wasn't a fan of sisig back in Canada. I would say that like my favorite Filipino dish was sinigang, which it still is.
Yes.
But coming here to the Philippines, I don't know if they make it differently, but now my favorite Filipino dish is pork sisig for sure.
Okay.
So,
pork sisig.
future forward, for your goals and aspirations in both your personal career and your environmental advocacy work, how do you plan to continue making a difference using your platform?
That's a great question. For me, your heart, like I said, it really, really has to be into it. And I think that when you show that people will know you're genuine and they'll support you. And that's what I think that I've been getting from the fans as of recently. My whole entire journey during Mutan Filipinas and representing the Filipino community of Canada, my whole entire heart has been it since day one. And I really think that everyone can see that. And that's why everyone has been so amazing towards me. So continuing and wanting to make a difference going on later in the future, I really think everything needs to be 100% authentic and making sure that I'm confident in what I'm doing and what I believe in and everything in terms of my advocacy. So I really think that that's what I plan to do in the future or continue to make a difference is just constantly making sure that people know how authentic my journey really is.
Right. And go ahead.
Sorry. Since we already talked about the future, so aside from being a beauty queen, do you also have other plans and going into other careers that you might think
Maybe
of?
pursuing a course or certificate, something like that. You want to do
I don't
something, you want to
really
travel,
have-
anything like that.
I don't really have any exact plans right now. I'm basically just going off of whatever.
vibes.
Yeah, like wherever
The
the wind
vibes.
takes me, of course.
Okay.
I'm very open to any opportunity that's to come my way. I'll never close the door on any opportunity, whether it be singing, dancing, acting, like every aspect of that. I'm very, very willing to do.
So do you dance and sing?
I heard that you sing, so
I do sing, yes, I do.
okay, somebody mentioned, someone was.
I even told her that she looks like one of
Yes,
the
we
Global
did
stars
mention-
off cam.
Yes.
She looks like Megan from Cat's Eye.
Yes.
You can validate that, guys.
Yeah.
But no, really, you sing.
I do sing, yes.
Who's your favorite artist?
Yeah.
My favorite artist.
And your
Or your
favorite song?
genre? Your reaction is the same with
Yeah,
sing.
that's so hard because I'm such a big fan of music, and you can literally ask my parents. I have my AirPods in 24/7. I'm always listening to music.
Oh my God, careful
I
with
love
the
it.
eardrum.
I know.
So
Always
what's
listening.
Arianna's playlist?
It's a lot of like old school R&B. I think I picked up from like my dad and my siblings. They listen to a lot of old school R&B, so like Babyface, all that kind of stuff.
Kind of.
But I think my favorite song as of the moment right now would be Bruno Mars's new song with Lady
Die
Gaga.
with a Smile.
Yes, such a good song. I've been obsessed with that song ever since it came out, and I've been listening to it. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of music.
Okay. Someone is shouting at the
Sample.
background. Sample
Die
down.
with a Smile.
Yes.
Of course,
Okay,
of
go.
course. What song should I sing? Oh my God, there's too many to pick from. Okay.
You can do it.
Anything. I have often dreamed of a far-off place where a hero's welcome will be waiting for me, when the crowds will cheer when they see my face, and a voice keeps saying, this is where I'm meant to be. I'll be there someday. I can go the distance. I will find my way. If I can be strong, I know every mile will be worth my while. When I go the distance, I'll be right where I belong.
Wow, very nice.
Very
I
nice.
love
Very
it.
nice.
So sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And she has that soulful voice.
Thank you
Good
so
for
much.
R&B.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Arianna. We had fun.
Yes, thank you so much for
much.
having me.
Lot
Oh my
about
goodness.
you today.
So,
Thank
yeah.
you.
At this very moment, if you want to say something to your family, to your fans, maybe you can invite them to watch or to follow you, and you have activities upcoming, you can go ahead and please
You can
invite.
promote.
Well, I just want to thank everyone for supporting me since day one. All of my family, my friends, the media. Thank you so, so much. I hope you continue to support me, and I hope I make you proud. Thank you so much to my team, of course. I could have not done it without you guys. Thank you to my parents. Thank you to the Filipino community back home in Canada. I appreciate every single one of you, and even though it's been a really, really hectic time, I still see all of the love and support, and I can't thank you enough for it. So please continue to follow me on my journey as I move on to this next chapter of my life and go to India to represent Philippines in Environment International. I love you guys all so, so much, and I hope to make you guys proud.
Wow. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much for
and
having me.
Good
Joining
luck.
us
Thank
today.
you. Thank
Right.
you.
Okay, and thank you also to Paul, to Jam and Franz. Thank you so much again.
Thank you so
and
much.
we will see you next
year.
year with a
Yeah.
crown. It's a
Fingers
pressure for me
crossed.
personally.
Of course.
No, it's good luck and just enjoy the journey. And
Thank you.
I know that you will make us proud. So just enjoy the journey and of course take care and stay healthy.
Thank you so much.
All
I
right.
appreciate it.
All right. Arianna, it's been wonderful having you on
Spotlight.
Spotlight. Of course, your commitment to environmental advocacy is really inspiring and beautiful. Just like you.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing your journey with us, Arianna. We can't wait to see you next.
Thank you so much.
With a crown again, we hope. Yeah.
Yes. And to our viewers, thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for more amazing stories like her.
Until next time, keep shining and have a great day. This is once again Patty Ramirez.
And I am Kim Sancha, and
And
this
this
has
is
been your
Spotlight.
Spotlight.
This public service announcement is brought to you by Meralco.
Isang magandang araw mga kaliwanag at ganun na din sa mga katribu. Nakakalungkot nga ang nangyari sa marami nating kababayan dahil sa pananalasa ng Super Typhoon Karina. Daming pamilya, lalo na sa aming mga customer sa Meralco, ang naapektuhan at nalubog sa baha. Kaya kami sa Meralco naging puspusan ang pagtugon namin sa mga pangangailangan ng aming mga customer nitong mga panahon na ito. Hindi po tumigil ang ating mga crew kahit malakas ang ulan o mataas ang baha sa pagbibigay serbisyo. Mula sa pansamantalang pag-alis ng supply ng kuryente para maiwasan ang aksidente, hanggang sa muling pagbabalik ng supply sa oras na ligtas na ang sitwasyon. Napakahalaga po ng public safety para sa amin dito sa Meralco. Kaya bago po namin ibalik yung aming serbisyo sa mga lugar na lumubog sa baha o gayon din sa mga nasirang electric facilities, sinisiguro namin na ligtas muna ito para sa lahat ng customers ng Meralco. Ini-inspect po muna ng aming mga tauhan ang mga lugar na nawalan ng serbisyo ng kuryente para malaman kung ano ang naging sira o problema sa aming pasilidad. Kapag nalaman na namin ang naging problema, uumpisahan ng kumpunihin ang mga pangunahing linya ng kuryente. Sa oras na ito, darating ang aming mga equipment at mga kagamitan na gagamitin sa pagsasaayos. Una po naming inaayos ang aming mga linya ng kuryente na nasa main sections. Kapag okay na ang main power lines, ay susunod natin agad ayusin ang mga linya sa mga kali at mga kabahayan. Ito po yung dahilan kung bakit maraming mga bahay ang hindi agad na ibabalik ang serbisyo ng kuryente noong kasagsagan ng bagyo. Dahil maaaring wala ng baha sa kanilang kalye pero sa kalapit na mga lugar, lalo na yung sa major sections, ay hindi pa ligtas na ibalik ang supply. Ngayon, fully restored na halos ang serbisyo ng kuryente sa lahat ng apektado at salamat sa magigitin nating mga line crew na 24/7 walang tigil na magtrabaho sa kabila ng bagyo at baha, walang tigil sa restoration efforts doon sa mga lugar na apektado. Saludo kami sa inyong lahat. Bukod din sa pagre-restore at pagsasaayos ng linya ng kuryente, tumulong din po kami ang aming employee volunteers sa Meralco Rescue, sa disaster response, partikular sa mga pagsaklolo sa mga na-stranded dahil sa baha. Agaran din nagbahagi ng libu-libong relief packs ang One Meralco Foundation para sa mga pamilyang pinakaapektado ng bagyo sa iba't ibang bahagi ng aming franchise area. Nakabantay pa rin po kami anumang oras upang agad rumesponde sakali man magkaroon muli ng service interruptions o anumang emergency situations. Layo namin na ayusin ang aming pasilidad na naapektuhan ng bagyo sa lalong madaling panahon. Maaring mag-message ang aming mga customers sa aming mga social media channels kung sakaling may iba pang concerns. Ako po muli ang inyong lingkod, Manong Joe, hanggang sa susunod na episode natin.